Unfortunately for Manchester City, 75 minutes of incompetence will always trump 15 minutes of excellence. Arsenal emerged 2-1 winners at the Emirates, and it's a huge victory for them going forth in their Premier League campaign. Now, Arsenal, all credit to them. I think that Arsene Wenger had his tactics right from the get-go. He was going to put pressure on Manchester City's back two, who were, I would say, dysfunctional for the majority of the game. Otamendi and Mangala, I just don't think are good enough centre-back pairing. They definitely miss Vincent Kompany in there, and it showed throughout the game. Numerous chances Arsenal had to potentially put themselves 2 or 3-0 up. Obviously, I'll get to Manchester City's goal. They got back. Joe Hart saved a couple with his face and his body, coming to Manchester City's rescue again. But in the first half, the story was stole by, I would say, Theo Walcott's goal. Now, Giroud, of course, getting on the score sheet again, proven vital with Arsenal's Premier League campaign this season, just coming up with big goals. Ozil, as you expected, has a hand to play in that goal. That front pairing of, I would say, Ozil, Walcott and Giroud looked dangerous throughout. And then Theo Walcott coming to life, Ozil involved again, playing it into his feet, cuts back into his right foot, bends it into the corner. I thought it was going to be the pick of the bunch for the game. It was a fantastic goal, nestled in the corner, but of course, Yaya Toure would steal that from him. Well, that's what I think anyway. So as we move into the latter stages of the game, Manchester City seemed to run out of ideas, especially in the first half. I thought that De Bruyne was crowded out quite a lot. When he did find some wiggle room, he was able to get a shot on goal, but saves were made there from Petr pretty comfortably. Now, Pellegrini's decisions in the second half, that's what I want to talk about. So he takes off Fabian Delph, puts on Raheem Sterling, who I thought should have started in this game. Sterling gave a little bit more life in the final third for Manchester City. De Bruyne and Sterling on alternate wings, just it's a problem for Arsenal because Monreal is very good defensively, but he lacks that little bit of pace, and that's how De Bruyne, I think, got inside him a couple of times. But on the other side, it was a fantastic matchup. I said it was like two cheetahs racing between Raheem Sterling and Bellerin, two very fast players, and it was a great matchup to see them two play against each other. And of course, Wilfried Bony up top in there provided some more physicality. Taking off David Silva, though, despite not playing to his full potential the way we've seen at the start of the season, there was many times that I think they could have used his final touch in there, and I just don't think that Pellegrini gave him a chance towards the end of the game. And I think that Arsene Wenger made a similar decision. I think he kind of spoke too soon a little bit by taking out Mesut Ozil, who I thought was exceptional throughout again, taking him out to put in Oxlade-Chamberlain. I felt that he was just accepting that it was going to be comfortable towards the end. I thought Wenger was a little bit rash in that decision, but taking off Joel Campbell as well, who I thought played very well throughout the game, but of course bringing on Gibbs in a more defensive position to try and help kind of stabilise their team. But as we moved into the last 15-20 minutes of the game, one man stood out for me, and that was Yaya Toure. He encompassed what Arsenal had encompassed for the full game. He encompassed heart. He encompassed what it meant to try and win a game because he understood how vital it was. You bring on Jesus Navas, who all he can do is run fast, gets into a dangerous position to try and help, I would say, spearhead the comeback, and he passes it inside. Where's your balls, mate? Where's your balls to put that into the corner to at least take a shot on goal? Because the angle was there. You see, if you're watching from the angle of the game in which we can see it, the majority of the goal is open. He's got the speed to get there, but that's just where you lack that finishing touch, I would say, Jesus Navas. Well, I just don't think you've been good enough at Manchester City for numerous different occasions, in my view. He's fast, he's good for the odd bit of brilliance, but you need your best players to step up in that position. So for me, that was poor from him. But then Yaya Toure had other options in mind. He wanted to kind of claw Manchester City back out from the dust, and he bent this beautiful shot inside his foot into the top corner. A great 1-2 in there, and he almost doubled it. He almost got Manchester City firmly back into the game. There was a lovely 1-2 between him and Kevin De Bruyne. Put him in behind, but it was great defending in the end to put pressure on him as he couldn't put the ball into the back of the net. And then Arsenal, they weathered the storm at the end, and they got a fantastic victory. All credit to Arsene Wenger's men. This is a completely different Arsenal we are seeing. I'm going to quote someone who I never thought I would quote in a TYT Sports clip, and that's Piers Morgan. Now, Piers Morgan saying out there that he thinks that Arsenal are different because they have heart. That is true. That is the thing that's different. They've got the same group of players, despite a couple of players brought in now. You see Joel Campbell kind of coming in to fill in, playing well, but they have more heart than Manchester City. All the money that Man City has spent don't encompass that heart that Arsenal showed throughout the game, and that is what prevailed for me, and that is what will prevail as the Premier League moves forward. Great victory for them. Make sure to give us a thumbs up on this video. Hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at Francis_Maxwell. Plenty more football talk coming as always as we get into the busy Christmas season. Hope everyone has a Merry Christmas going forward. I'm sure the Arsenal fans will.